Okay, I was out shopping in Home Depot again today, and I got a message from one of the viewers, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, but anyway, she went to Home Depot to pick up the tubular vinyl gasket I told you about when we were talking about the vinyl tennis shoes, as far as the trim on the vinyl tennis shoes goes. And the guy at one of the people at the Home Depot suggested that she try this EPDM Rubber Weatherseal self-stick tape instead. So I went there and I picked it up today. It's $4.98, and it comes in a roll of 17 feet, so it's the same length as the tubular gasket material, but it comes out in a strip of two put together, so you can use it all together or you can cut it down the middle. So I cut off a piece to try different options on it. I got my scissors out thinking that I would just cut right down the center and to break them apart, and because it is rubber, you're going to end up getting little unless you're real careful, you're not going to get a clean cut, is what I'm trying to say. So you might want to take a X-Acto knife and then just run that so you get a clean cut, or you may be a better be better a cutter than I am with a pair of scissors. But whatever works for you, however it works to get the cut. A nice clean cut. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, it comes with a little sticker on the back. You just peel this sticker off and it's self-adhesive. I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know how well it'll stay on the shoes, but it's another option. Even if this adhesive doesn't work, you can always use your own adhesive, like the shoe glue or something else, and have this it's like perfect for these little tennis shoes. I mean, you can't get much easier than this, but it isn't a pure white, it's more of an off-white. So I'm going to try painting this with different paints and see if it will hold an actual paint on it. But anyway, there you go. It'll go around your shoe like that, and it'll look just like a tennis shoe rubber, because it is rubber. But it's just another option instead of the tubular vinyl. So it's called EPDM Rubber Weatherseal Self-Stick Tape. It's 3/8 of an inch wide by 1/8 of an inch thick, and it's 17 feet long. They probably carry it. It's Frost King, same as this, and they probably carry it at Lowe's also, probably Ace. You can get it online. I went to Home Depot online. They say it comes in white and it comes in black, but they didn't have black. They only had the white at my Home Depot. They used to sell it for like $3 something when it was in the cardboard box, and now they've updated to these plastic containers. So they charge you a couple dollars more, or $1.50 more for the plastic packaging, but you know, everybody does that. So anyway, that is a great option for these tennis shoes. So I was playing around thinking, well, what can I do with these tennis shoes with this new vinyl? So what I did is I took a little strip to test it, and I took one of my Sharpies, this is the ultra fine, and I did 2 lines of black striping down the inside of the, can you see that? I did 2 stripings of ultra fine. You could probably use just regular fine, or probably even medium Sharpie will work, but it's a permanent marker. And I thought, how cute would that be to put that as the trim around these little shoes, with the stripe up here, and you'll have a stripe down there. You can coordinate all of your shoes now with this rubber Weatherseal as trim. So I tried different types of Sharpies. These are the Markets by Bic. It says fine point, but by the time you get in there to put your color in, it pretty much fills up the entire crevice. So I'll show you what I mean. This is orange. So say I wanted to color my crevice in orange, I would just go in there and and draw a line of orange coloring in the gasket itself, so you can match all your different shoe colors with, I hope you're getting this, all your different shoe colors with just permanent markers. So that's another option. I tried it with pink and green, you see that? So then I took, and I thought, well, what if I want a fine line? So I got my microns out. These microns are like the finest you can get. They're like 0.25 millimeter, they're 0.1. They're like the super fine points. And I tried making a little red line with it, but it was just too thin because I had to go over it like 10 times. So I don't recommend the super fine pens. I'd go bigger, at least fine point or fine. But yeah, go a little bit bigger on those, and you can coordinate. So if my shoe was a green and a pink, I could actually make my trim green and pink. Isn't that cute? I mean, you can't go wrong with this. I mean, there's just so many options now just by having this extra weather stripping on your shoe. So I've tried a couple different things. I cut a piece off and I tried putting my scribbles down the center like I tried with the regular vinyl gasket, and it's not completely dried yet, but there's another, can you see that? There's another option you can use by putting your scribbles paint down the middle. This one was brand new. This is the first time I saw it. It's called Folk Art Acrylic Paint, and I got it at Michael's today. They have all the different vinyl colors, all the colors to match all of the silly winks and the those vinyl sheets. So now we've got another whole option. You can actually paint your foam. You can paint your foam soles to whatever paint color you want to match your shoe. So for example, I was playing around with, I made these. I'm going to make a video on the second of the second shoe, but this is what happened. This is what is the snake skin. It actually does feel like snake skin. See, you feel it. It's got that snake skin texture on it. It's even got the oh gosh, the texture, the line texture. Not only the coloring, the physical picture on there, but it's also got the texturing of an actual snake. If you feel it, you could think you were actually feeling a real snake. So I thought, because it feels like snake, it looks like snake, it's got the texturizing of a snake, I thought, wouldn't that be neat if you use the same kind of texturing on your sole to match the texturing of your fabric. I tried it on the black with the golden brown to get a coppery effect, a coppery looking effect, but I think it's a little too dark for these shoes. So I got out a piece of white to try it, and basically all I did is I would shape it into the shape of the actual sole. This is the, I did a square toe just to give it a different look. But here is the sole of this, well, it's not exactly the sole yet, but it might be. But anyway, this is the shape of it. So what I would do is I would cut my white sheet out in the same shape, and then I would take my piece of netting, wherever it went to. I can't find it. Anyway, you take your scribbles paint. Let me see if I can find that. I showed it in another video, but now I can't even see what I did with it. Probably flew off with the air conditioner. Okay, here it is. I found it. So you take your netting and you're going to put your sole. It won't be this. It won't be a piece like this. It'll be an actual sole. So then you put your netting underneath. Like I said, I've done this in another video, or you've probably seen it if you saw that video. And then you take your scribbles. I'm using fabric paint because it dries almost like rubber. And then you just put a glob on. And then you use your finger and spread it out. And you do that, you cover the entire surface of the sole. And then you carefully lift your netting off, and that will give you the snake skin. Can you see that? It will give you the actual snake skin texture of, it'll look the same as your snake skin texture on your snake skin. Okay, let me clean myself up here. Okay, so anyway, that was the texturizing of the, this is the 7/16, this is the wider foam sheets, not the thin sheets. But anyway, it comes in every single color, and when you paint with it, it actually looks like white glue. So it says shake well, apply with a brush, let dry 1 hour between coats. And I think it was $2 or $2.48 maybe. I'm thinking it was somewhere in that vicinity. But it does go on like white glue, like the fabric paint. It is almost like white glue. I have too much water in my brush. But if you don't coat it evenly, you're going to get big clumps of color somewhere. So you're probably going to want to, if you're going to want to match up your soles with your tops of your Mary Janes or your pumps or whatever, you're probably going to want to do a bunch of thin coats, let them dry, and till you get to your desired color. But you don't want to put a lot of clumps on here like I did, and the reason why is because you're going to get a whole bunch of clumps of glitter where you really don't want your clumps of glitter. So I would definitely go thin coats and then just keep coating it till you make it almost like that glitter sheet. But yeah, every color, $2.48 I think it was. But I tried it on the black, and the black turns out really pretty too. I don't know if you can see the glitter. That's only with one coat. It's hard to see black on black, but that was for the, and I was thinking I was going to just use the black glitter on the snake shoes, and I think that would look real pretty too. I mean, it would be nice. So anyway, one thing I didn't mention about these snake skins, I had to use my walking foot, because anytime you're on the top of the vinyl, like here I was on the top of the vinyl, and I tried to sew, I couldn't, I'm sorry, if I sewed on the opposite side and I had this on my feed dogs, it couldn't catch, it wouldn't hold, it couldn't grab, so I had to actually move on to, I had to put my walking foot back on. So my friend saw it, and she sent me an email saying that you can work on this vinyl if you take a piece, and you don't have a walking foot. She said just take a piece of Scotch tape and put it on the bottom of your pressure foot, but just make sure you cut out the hole where the needle goes through with a pair of little scissors or something like that. Get rid of this little hole so your needle can go up and down, and you'll be able to sew on vinyl without a walking foot. I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know if it works, but she probably wouldn't have told me that as a suggestion if it actually didn't work. So it's worth a try, especially if you don't have a walking foot. So you might want to give it a try. I can understand how that would work, because just putting this up against the snake skin, it still slides, but I don't know. I'll try it and see if it works, but you can try it too if you have something that you can't sew on. So if you sew and it stays in one place, that just shows you that you need the walking foot. So anyway, where was I? Oh, okay. Here's the gold. I filled those whole crevices up with gold fabric paint, thinking I would try that and see how that would look. I made a real mess. I don't care for this look, but you know, If I kept coating it with maybe some more fabric paint gold, it might turn out alright. This is that black glitter that I was just playing around with. It says this black glitter paint, or any of the glitter paints, it says it has to be a porous surface. And of course, I don't know if this rubber, I would consider rubber as being non-porous. Otherwise it wouldn't hold water. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with this. It may not even work, but I'm giving it a try. So, okay, another thing on these. Okay, so I made my sole, and I want to be able to put my sole on these boots and not have any gap in between, because I don't want, of course I don't want a gap so you can see air in there. I've tried it before on other boots and I could never get it exactly even. I always had a little bit of a gap and I wasn't happy with it. So then I was thinking, if you take your let me move this. If you take your, because you do have quite a bit of room here, so and when you think about what a little bump you have, it's only a tiny little bump that you want to have to get around to make it flush, right? So I was thinking, I have a set of carving tools where I was thinking I could take my little round carver and carve out some of this foam and only go down like, I don't know, maybe an 1/8 of an inch at the most. Probably not even an 1/8 of an inch, probably like a 1/16 of an inch, and I could get my boot absolutely flush with this foam board. But I can't find my carving tools. So I took these little nippers and I just went in and I, of course it would be this, but I'm trying it. So I went in with my little nippers to see if I could just nip some of this foam out of here. I guess you'd do the same thing with an X-Acto knife. You would be able to get, you know, and if that doesn't work, you can take sandpaper and then just keep sanding right there until you get it so it's going to be flush. So, but the problem is trying to get it lined up is where you're going to have trouble. So I was thinking that, you know, once you have it lined up, then you might want to cut your sole out. But see how you can get that? I hope you can see that. Do you see how flush that is? So I think now, with that little hole there to account for this bump, most of your tennis shoes, if you ever take a pair of tennis shoes apart, there's like a little channel that they actually put the shoe, fits the shoe in with all of their glues. So this is basically the same thing we're doing. It's just that we don't have to do the whole thing. We just have that little bit of a bump to get around. So once you can figure out where that little bump goes, you can get a completely flush sole, and you're done. All you gotta do is glue it together and you have a really nice shoe. And you don't even have to worry about the trim because it's just flush. It's flush with the shoe. And so that's an option. But anyway, I'll show you how I did this snakeskin when I can get time. I just like I never have any time to do anything anymore. I did not go with a top stitch. I did top stitch the probably a 1/16. I put a top stitching in here because you just have to have that stability in here. You just need it. So I took my pattern and I made a cardboard template and I put my I just drew my pattern on the back of this with a pencil. But you're only going to get one pair of shoes out of one of these sheets. And the snake and the cow, I think it's cow, is $1.47. So you can probably get the regular boot out of here and you'll get that too. So if you don't like the little half boot, you'll still have enough fabric to make the regular size without making that little dip in the middle. But see how I've got this one piece, and even actually taking a pencil and I'm putting my sew lines in so I can see exactly where I'm sewing. But if I use this piece for my toe piece for this next boot number 2, it's not going to look like the same shoe because I just realized that if I sew here, that middle piece on here is going to be right in the middle of two of those. This will be the middle, and that would be completely opposite of what I want. So I'm going to have to move that piece down at least a half of an inch. So I'm going to bring this piece down to about here, so that when I make boot number 2, my center toe piece is going to have this design on it instead of the crisscross design here, which I don't want. Even though they're not exactly the same, well, you're never going to get the same pattern anyway unless you buy 2 and then cut them out exactly the same, and then you have to turn them upside down so they'll be exactly an mirror image. But who's going to do that? I mean, you can, but if you're going to be that fussy, you probably would just go out and buy some snakeskin. Anyway, so there we go on that. So I'll do a video on boot number 2, and hopefully by then I'll have this decided whether I want to use this copper as that's probably going to be the best bet instead of the black. But the black looks pretty too. I kind of really like this black glitter. This is really nice too. I love this black glitter on these snake boots. But, you know, decisions. But anyway, so new rubber options, which are really nice. If you don't have a walking foot, you can use the Scotch tape. Design options, there's just 1.5 million now you can add to your repertoire for designing these shoes. And that's it. I guess I'm done. So I'll talk to you later, and hopefully you'll give this a try. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try painting it with regular white paint and see if it will still stay pliable, so that, I mean, this is okay, but it's an off-white. It's not really white. And so many of the little girl fabrics and the rubber bands and everything use the bright white instead of the off-white. But especially on tennis shoes, even your tennis shoes are bright white. But anyway, it just makes you have more options available, and I love it. I definitely love it. I think the combinations are going to be incredible that you can do on these, especially when you get into the different multicolors where you can use your regular permanent markers and design these for your tennis shoes. I mean, you can just do some beautiful things. Okay, so I'll talk to you later. Have a good afternoon. Bye.